Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome to some more Flight Sim World with Mr. Adrian. And this is update number 8, and they've made a minor change. We now have true weather. Holy crap, they've updated the weather system. It's awesome. So, first of all, make sure it's turned on. Go into display, advanced weather, on. If you don't do that, it won't show up. Next, let's go to create a flight. So first of all, we need an aircraft. Yeah, ignore that. Diamond Star, Twin Star. Everybody seems to like the Diamond. We'll go with this one. I haven't really flown that one much. Okay, weather conditions. So I'm gonna go with fair, I think. Yeah, we'll go with fair, but we'll configure it. Visibility. Let's take the visibility down to 40. Precipitation. I think that can either be on or... Actually, I don't think you can change that, can you? No, you can't change it because of the preset weather. Clouds, none. Scattered. Broken. Let's have some broken clouds. Let's have some scattered clouds. And wind speed. Let's have a little bit of light wind coming from the west. Yes. Alright, that sounds good to me. Right. Welcome to 11,000 feet. And welcome to the new cloud system. This actually looks really quite nice. Look at these puffy clouds. Actually, look at that. Wow. Not bad at all. Yeah, so let's just very quickly go over the changes. We are now... What are we in now? We are on 1.2.19365. Obviously, that's the version number. No, I seem to be going up. I want to go up. Come on. Right, so this gives us and the new weather system they've been... Well, part of the new weather system they've been working on, which is being called True Sky. This is an advanced weather engine, or a part of it. The weather themes present in True Sky are denoted by the advanced label. So, you know, when you have it turned on, and you can use the weather systems from the start menu, as you saw. These themes will only be available when the advanced weather is activated. So you need to, you know, as I showed you, you need to turn it on in the settings. Right. So apart from the weather, what else has changed? Well, the cold and dark starts has had a minor tweak. You can now set the mixture correctly. Avionics, various G1000 and actuator fixes have been included, and corrections to the check gear, stall, and glow on messages. And it's got a startup screen added to it as well, so that's fantastic. The DA40 door handle tooltip has now been corrected, and the fuel pump switch animation has also been corrected. The DA42, the text legibility has been improved. The interior visual model has also been tweaked a little bit. And the alternator functionality has been corrected. The Mirage, the mixture lever made easier to control with a mouse. The avionics radio master switch has been added. Under settings, controls are now saved when you exit the settings screens, which is really quite handy, because it's horrible, you know, when you get your controls set up and they last as long as you have the screen open. It's kind of annoying. In the UI, we've fixed some overlapping text in the flight plan summary, bug fixes for the music slider, removed hover audio from maps and airports. The header bar locked out until after the dovetail screen, profile screen rather, and fix for tooltips appearing on the loading screen. I guess that could be a bit annoying, but that's basically it. This one really gave us the core update for the True Sky. Now, obviously, it's still got some work ahead of it, but what we've been handed looks really quite nice, I think. All those nice puffy clouds, don't know if the details are coming out in the recording. That's the issue. I think that... Oh, there you go. You can see how the clouds are animated there. I think the animation sequence is a little on the fast side. Let's time it. Hang on. 1, 2... About 8 seconds It loops for about 8 seconds. Okay. Alright, yeah, I think that needs to be slowed down ever so slightly. Probably in half, actually. Maybe sorry, doubled? I don't know. Yeah, you wanna increase the time to 16, make it a 16-second loop instead of an 8-second loop, just to take away that very fast change in the animation or in the texturing. But as you get closer to the clouds, the puffiness in the animation really becomes a lot more evident and a lot more detailed. Right now, it's functional more than it looks pretty. I mean, it looks very pretty. let's not beat about the bush. It does look very pretty, and considering that this is, you know, part of the actual sim, not an add-on, this is a really nice step forwards. And I'm actually coming here fresh from the live stream as well. If you missed the live stream, I highly recommend heading over to Twitch and checking it out, or waiting until it comes onto YouTube. There's a lot of really cool information. Amy let a couple of things kind of sort of slip a little bit, like potential future plans. I'm not going to say anything. Mr. Hood also. Couple of minor spoilers there. If you listen to him carefully, he does drop a couple of spoilers. It's worth checking out if you're looking for that kind of thing. Personally, I was just enjoying watching these puffy clouds. Now, yes, they are all at one level. You know, you've got these puffy clouds, and then you go up into these. I used to know the name of those. I can't remember what those ones are called now. Now, one thing I seem to remember is you can actually switch out the weather systems on the fly. So if you get bored of flying in one particular weather system, you can just whack escape and switch it out. Seems kind of cool, really. Alright, so... look at that. See, that is why I took off from Yakima. I'm making my way across the mountains towards Seattle. That's the one. Mount Rainier is the highest mountain of the Cascade Range of the Pacific Northwest, and the highest mountain in the U.S. state of Washington. It's a large, active stratovolcano located about 54 miles southeast of Seattle. It is the most topographically prominent mountain in the continuous United States, and the Cascade Volcanic Arch, with a summit elevation of 14,411 feet. Mount Rainier is considered one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the world, and it's on the Decade Volcano list. Because of its large amount of glacial ice, Mount Rainier could produce massive lahars that could threaten the entire river valley and pose a grave threat to the southern sections of Seattle metropolitan area, a city of over 65,000 people. It was originally known by the Native Americans as Talol, or Tacoma, or Tahoma, one of those. One hypothesis of the word origin is Mother of Waters in the local spoken language by the Puyallup people. The current name was given by George Vancouver, who named it in honor of his friend Rear Admiral Peter Rainier, and the map of the Lewis and Clark expedition of 1804 to 1806 refers to it as Mount Rainier. With 26 major glaciers and 36 square miles of permanent snowfield and glaciers, Mount Rainier is one of the most heavily glaciated peaks in the lower 48 states. The summit is topped by two volcanic craters, each more than 1,000 feet in diameter, with the largest east crater overlapping the west crater. Geothermal heat from the volcano keeps both of these crater rims free from snow and ice, and has formed the world's largest volcanic glacial cave network, with the ice-filled craters, with nearly 2 miles of passages. The most recent recorded volcanic eruption was between 1820 and 1854. But many eyewitnesses report eruptive activity in 1858, 1870, 1879, 1882, and 1894. Although it's now dormant, as of 2016, seismic monitors were located around the national park and have been monitoring the activity. An eruption could actually be deadly for everyone living in the area, obviously, and in the immediate vicinity of the volcano, such as, well, Seattle. But could also cause a lot of trouble for places like Vancouver and San Francisco because of the massive amounts of ash that would get blasted into the atmosphere. And of course, depending on the wind direction, it could cause even more chaos. Mount Rainier is located in an area that itself is part of the eastern rim of the Pacific Ring of Fire. This includes mountains and calderas like Mount Shasta, Larsen Peak, Crater Lake, the Three Sisters, Mount Hood in Oregon, Mount St. Helens, Mount Adams, Glacier Peak, and Mount Baker in Washington. If you don't know about the Pacific Ring of Fire, it's definitely something worth looking up. It's very interesting. Seismically, there is a lot of feedback from the mountain itself. Typically, up to 5 earthquakes are recorded monthly near the summit. Swarms of 5 to 10 shallow quakes over 2 or 3 days take place from time to time, predominantly in the region of about 12 to 13,000 feet below the summit. These quakes are thought to be caused by the circulation of hot fluids beneath the mountain itself. Presumably hot springs and steam vents within the national park are generated by this activity. Now, because it's so large and rather tall, it is quite a popular mountain to climb. But it is also a very difficult one because of the environment there. You start down at the bottom where it's nice and green and hilly and lots of trees, and it turns into climbing on an ice cube. There's about a 50% success rate, apparently, between the number of people who actually start and the number of people who get to the top. It's estimated that about 8 to 13,000 people attempt to climb each year, mostly via routes from Camp Muir on the southeast flank. And of course, anyone trying to climb the mountain are actually required by law to purchase a climbing pass and register their climb. And solo climbers actually have to fill out a solo climbing request form and receive written permission from the superintendent before attempting a climb. Climate information for the mountain? It's cold. I think that layers of ice probably give that away. But on average, it's between, in Celsius, -14 in January and 0 in August. And it doesn't get any warmer than that. Right. As we leave the mountain behind us, we should probably start thinking about losing some altitude, I think. Well, those clouds do look a little bit problematic, to be honest. But I do need to get down because I've got an airport to land at. So, it can be interesting. I'm just trying to watch my speed as I come down as well. I don't want to get too fast. It is fighting me quite a bit, actually. I'm having to make a lot of corrections on the stick. Alright, see those clouds look just a little too fluidic to me. I mean, technically they are made of fluid, but they're just a little too animated when you get this close. But, I mean, you know what? They're still way better than the default. So, can't really complain too much. Oh, wow, we're getting a little quick there. Nose up somewhat. I want to try and keep on my GPS track too, because now I can't see anything. I can see the ground, sort of. I can see some trees. When I see the leaves on the trees, I think that's going to be my signal that I'm too low. Right? Hey, look! Is that a leaf or a tree? It's leaves. You might want to pull up. So yeah, this is definitely the dodgy bit right here. Because I'm not familiar with the area, so I don't know if there are any other mountains or slopes or anything I need to worry about, so this is fun. Especially in an aircraft that doesn't have a great deal of sensors on the outside. Like no weather sensors or ground sensors or anything like that. I guess I could probably switch the GPS onto map mode. That should give me a clue, but you know what? This is more fun. Into the unknown. Quite literally, because I'm not really familiar with the area. Again, because I'm in the clouds, the ground is looking like snow. Bit odd, but I can live with that for the minute. It'll get corrected, I'm sure. So yeah, I want to talk about some of the potential spoilers that Stephen Hood voiced. But I'm going to hold back. Go watch the Twitch stream and see if you pick up on the same things that I did. It's very exciting. The next month or so should be quite interesting. Down to 5,000 feet. Not bad. One hell of a descent. I hope I don't have a nosebleed at this point. And ooh, I can see some ground. Yay! Actually, if I'm coming down out of the clouds and away from the mountain, I should. Which one is it? Fuel pump. No, I should be able to turn that off now. Yay! Hopefully. I guess we'll find out, won't we? My airspeed suddenly drops. We'll know what's going on. Actually, that was something that came up in the live stream. Was now we've got this advanced weather system. Are we going to get problems with icing effects and stuff like that? So I can't remember the reply. There will be eventually. I don't know if they're in here now. I think they are. Basically, but later on we can expect to see more dramatic icing effects on the aircraft, and not just influences, but actual, visual effects. I think is something that he was talking about. Lots of airfields around here. Blimey. I mean, I know where I took off from. There should be a lot of airfields because it's there's a lot of ranches around there, and most big ranches have airfields because they use aircraft to spray their crops with and to keep an eye on their cattle and whatnot. Well, not keep an eye on their cattle, but you know what I mean. Keep an eye on things, and do the same for their neighbors for a small fee. Yep, these clouds have they haven't tanked my frame rate, but they've certainly had an influence upon my frame rate. Not terrible though. Again, I am still running at 4K, so happy with that. So the city ahead of me. You figured it out yet? It's Vancouver. No, it's not Vancouver. It's Seattle. So now I'm going to start adjusting my aircraft so I can get ready to land. Gear down. Oh, no. There's no gear. Stop that. There's no fixed gear on this thing. Damn. I think I'm coming around a little too tight. Yep. Go down. Now, since the wind is coming from the west and I'm headed south, there may be some crabbing going on. This is going to be fun. I haven't done any crosswind landings in FSW yet that I'm aware of. Alright, so trying to line her up. You know, we all know how well I line up on a runway. Too far to the left again. Okay, hopefully the wind will push me over. Actually, it doesn't feel very windy. Okay, idle. And nose up. There we go. That wasn't so bad. Why are my brakes not working? Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, it'd be nice if they would fix the braking system on these aircraft. Right, well, that is it. That's the update. That's the new cloud system. Actually, it looks pretty impressive from here. It looks like there's a storm coming in. That's really quite nice. They do look very pretty. They have... I thought it was raining for a second. It's my engine. They have had an effect on the frame rate, and of course, it's going to. But they look really quite nice. Anyway, that's it from me. Remember, if you've enjoyed this, just lean in and caress that like button for me. And keep an eye out on my channel. I may actually start live streaming some Flight Sim World in the future. You never know. Because on the 8th of August, I'm going to start live streaming. Until then, I will see you anon.